Up, up, and away, web.
Fly.
Blam! Happy tribute.
So, welcome back, guys. We're going to be watching The Amazing Spider-Man 2. You guys have requested this a lot and voted for it on our Patreon. So, I'm excited. I didn't know it was going to win this quickly, but the new Spider-Man trailer is out with Tom Holland. So maybe it's more popular for that reason. I know it's probably going to be a good movie. We enjoyed the first The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. He was incredible. I believe Jamie Foxx is in this one. We heard rumors about that. So we have the cast up right now. No spoilers about the plot or anything. Emma Stone is in this again as Gwen Stacy. We were hoping to see her again. And a lot of other new faces. I love Paul Giamatti. I see he's in this one. Sally Field, we love.
Yes, we love her.
Aunt May. Felicity Jones. She was in Star Wars and a few other things that we've seen, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people. Campbell Scott, Alex Kurtzman, Embeth Davidtz. Let's see, Shailene Woodley. I don't know. She kind of has a familiar face. I don't know if we've seen her on the channel. Chris Cooper, we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And BJ Novak, Max Charles, Colm Feore. But sometimes...
BJ's from The Office.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
That was sad, though, because his character died last movie.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
All right, and
Oh.
Martin Sheen as Ben
Yes.
Parker, so
Yes.
maybe a flashback
That's
or
good.
something.
Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
Happy,
yes.
right?
Happy.
So I think we should just get into it. We're going to be watching on Amazon today just because we couldn't find it on any other service. And I like Amazon anyway, so that works out just fine. And without looking at it, we'll just get into it, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Shall.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's a suitcase.
One person can do. Destroy it all.
Be good.
Will we find out more? That would be good. Don't shoot him! Hopefully she stays down.
Grab it.
Oh.
Jeez!
Son of a gun.
Oh, boy. Oh, he's still got it.
Man.
Oh,
Wow.
here we go.
He's holding on to it that
I know.
desperately. You're gonna
You're
fly
doing
out.
Guy.
Bye.
Ooh.
Oh my god, look at
Spider-Man! Hello, pedestrians!
hello, pedestrians. Oh, she's nerdy.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Oh, blueprints.
You're gonna get hit.
Oh,
Holy crap.
hi. Oh,
Johnny.
whoa.
You're not a nobody. You're somebody. Like
Aw.
that. All right, listen to me.
Ew.
Oh my gosh.
Kaboom.
Whoa.
Holy crap.
Jeez.
Oh,
You're not going anywhere. Come here.
My God, he's all collecting all of them.
Nice. I love Spider-Man. He's so good.
Peter Parker.
I know that guy.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Get me.
It's good as new, right? I'll walk you home.
Aw, that's
Oh,
nice.
thank you, yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man.
You're Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's not a foreigner.
Can I come in?
No!
Now that lock came in handy.
Oh, yeah, I was cleaning the chimney.
So he's in bed.
What?
I know, I'm late.
Downstairs.
Whoa, well, look who's here.
Spider-Man
What a
everywhere.
fan.
Come on.
And I'm Spider-Man.
Oh,
What? Oh, that's what he saw. Okay.
that's right, yes.
Ooh, it's kind of, he's a lot of rage building up. Ooh, look at his nails. It's gonna be...
It's so funny.
If you put it together, zap. There you go.
Oh,
You're going to the top.
Oh no, he's trying to.
my God. Like, oh,
Evil eels.
yes. Oh.
What's he gonna do? Turn into Eel Man?
Whoa.
It's just the wrist. It's just all in the wrist, buddy.
Voice cracking. Smoking.
Ooh.
Oh.
He's coming out of a cocoon.
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
He's going by himself.
Look how in sync he is. Oh!
Oh my gosh.
Time that we try to be friends.
Great. Yeah. All right.
They're too in love with each other. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's right.
My laugh
That
is
laugh
off
is
the
off.
table.
You got to figure out a more annoying laugh.
Oh, yeah, God. Oh, God. Wow.
Ooh.
Oh,
Look
look
how
at
he
that.
sees the world.
Oh my word.
Freeze! Get down!
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's still so scared.
Ooh,
Whoa!
whoa,
You
whoa.
left it too.
Oh, no.
Oh, say.
Good question.
Yeah, you're not
good
one of those
spade.
cops that rides a horse.
Oh, boy. Ooh.
No!
Oh,
shit.
don't shoot!
Come on.
Crap.
Say. Oh, God. Oh, okay.
It's
Crap.
Time to go.
Whoa.
Whoa! Can't use those.
Ooh.
Let's just.
Oh, he put the hat on. I get to know him. I love
Watch
it.
me, I got.
Oh my God! I'm so perfect. I just spilled a hot latte all over your
Harry.
He's so quiet in the corner there.
I'm here to study you, to
He
understand.
sounds like a perfect mad scientist.
Right.
Electro.
Electro.
Whoop.
It's electric.
Whoops.
You're my boy. As far as I'm concerned,
Oh.
you're my boy. And I won't hurt you.
Oh,
Oh.
she loves him.
Ravencroft is a time-worn institution devoted to mental improvement.
You are
No
experimenting
way.
on people in there.
Progress has
Oh
its
my
stepping
God.
stones. No one is going to miss you.
Oh, you son of a gun.
Ooh.
Whoa.
How dare you?
What?
Oh my God. Ooh. Oh,
Lights work.
wow,
Oh,
right.
it
Yeah.
sure does.
Whoa.
What?
The human DNA that I implanted in the spiders. I always thought that I'd have more time.
Glad he saw it though. Get some closure. Whoa!
Whoa.
Holy crap! It went through. Whoa!
Whoa.
Oh,
Done.
you're a goner.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, he's
doing
gonna
what he
drown
did
in
to
there
him.
too.
Why? What's happening?
That.
Whoops. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Oh my god.
Right there.
Freaks.
Whoa.
Just one shot.
That's it.
Oh my god, he's starting to sweat again.
Ooh.
Welcome back to the bonus round.
Let's take a walk, shall we?
Holy crap! It killed him and brought him back.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
This is bad. It's green. Green Goblin stuff.
Do it. Now.
He's gonna shoot him by accident. Oop, nope, he's gonna shoot him. Uh-oh.
Ooh, look at his eyes.
Eyes are turning.
Yeah, is he gonna turn into the Green Goblin?
There he
Wow.
goes. Nails.
Ooh!
Ooh.
Ew!
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, what I love you.
Oh, how
God, look at that.
precious.
Aw.
Oh, look at it.
I'm just gonna follow you everywhere. I'm just gonna follow you the rest of my life.
Aw.
Oh, my God.
Jeez.
Am I talking louder than I usually talk right now?
I can hear.
Be like a god to them.
A god named Sparkles?
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. You see the SpiderMan song?
Yeah.
I know it's not. It's a little spider. glider's cooler. Ooh.
Ooh,
look.
hi, honey.
He doesn't even need the helmet.
I'm gonna take away yours.
No, quit!
Nope, it's gonna do it to
No.
her.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
Catch.
Come on, sweetie.
Ooh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
There's the bombs.
No.
Oh, gosh.
Ooh, Peter, it's it. That's it.
No.
Ow.
Hurry. Go, go, go.
Oh no.
Oh, God, debris everywhere, too.
Oh no.
Got her.
Just in time, but everything else falling on her. No.
No way.
Oh, come on.
Oh, he couldn't save
You
her.
gotta
It's
be
too
kidding.
late.
Oh.
Gwen,
Is she bleeding? She is bleeding.
No, she is bleeding. No, oh my gosh.
Oh, that is so freaking sad. So close. Like she was off the ground, but she hit her head.
Yes.
See, I didn't see that.
Oh my goodness.
The big rhino?
See a rhino?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Remember my tattoo?
Oh god.
Oh,
No,
no. Come on,
Oh,
Spider-Man.
boy. Yes. No,
Actual
no.
Spider-Man.
Wanna be Spider-Man?
Yes.
Cheng,
Oh
you
my
gotta
god. Oh. Oh god.
Now move him.
I knew you'd come
You
back.
gotta get out of the way.
yeah, thanks for stepping up for me. You're the bravest kid I've ever seen. There's no place like home.
Oh shit.
My
Whoa.
word.
Oh, I can run!
Oh, that's. God.
Who won? Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think he did. Yay, Spidey. Spidey Man.
Yeah, with super long legs.
Oh boy.
That was a good movie.
That
was
was
good,
good.
yeah.
I'm so sad though.
Oh.
I'm in shock.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in absolute shock.
When? Oh, that's a shame.
Never thought that was
No,
gonna
I
happen.
didn't think.
Just to
Didn't think
say
so.
with the music real quick, I really enjoyed the music a lot because the lyrics,
Okay.
I don't know how much you guys could hear. It is pretty loud right now. I'm going to lower it a little bit.
That's right.
But just in case if there's a cutscene, we're going to keep the credits rolling, of course.
Okay.
Now, did you hear the lyrics? Because it was almost like it was Max's thoughts, thinking like a betrayal.
Yes,
I
it was a
hate
little
you.
faint,
Yes.
Rennie, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and I couldn't hear all the lyrics, but it was really
Yeah.
good, and it was
Yeah.
in tune with what was going on. So that was actually really cool.
Oh yeah.
And I actually
Okay.
felt bad for Max. I mean, he didn't have any friends. He was, a very intelligent guy.
Oh,
He was
he
an
was.
electric engineer.
Yeah.
He had no friends, and he was just infatuated. He was obsessed with Spider-Man, and he
Mhm.
was so
That's
jilted by him.
Yeah.
He just
That's
wanted
true,
to
yes.
demolish him when he became Electro.
Oh, wow.
I did feel so bad, and he wanted purpose, and even being saved right from the start, he was like, why me? Why me? I'm not important. Like, he always thought the
Yeah,
worst
like
of
that.
himself since the beginning, and that was, like, really sad to see, but he was mentally unstable, and he couldn't comprehend certain things.
Oh
And
sure.
finally, when Spider-Man noticed him and needed him, like, that obsession just took over, and when he was upset that I knew something was wrong with him, but when Spider-Man came up to him later, when he changed to Electro, and he was like, what, you don't recognize me? And he's so different looking, and he saw himself already and how different, but he's not associating that. He's just like,
No, he's
you
not.
needed me, I had great purpose for you, and yet you don't remember me. So that trigger was very dangerous because
Oh,
he
yeah, that
quickly
was.
turned on his obsession, his hero.
Oh,
He was,
jeez.
and Spider-Man couldn't have been any more positive to everybody he helped and
Definitely.
saved. Right
Oh my
down to that
gosh.
little boy who was bullied.
Yeah, he
I
came
mean,
back.
he
Oh,
had a big
oh,
impression on
yeah.
anyone he helped.
Yeah,
Jeez.
this was well done. I mean,
That was really
all
good.
the emotions. I love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, as Peter
I
Parker.
do
He
too.
is
Boy,
very
he
good.
was
I
spectacular.
felt
Yes,
everything
oh
he
my
was
gosh.
feeling, and I love the love story, the romance between him and Gwen.
Gwen,
So romantic,
definitely.
so in love, and you were right. Like, they were right back together right from the start of this movie, and it was
That's
hard
right.
for them to stay apart because they were so in love. Like, people do move on, but when you're that in love, like, they were perfect for each other.
Yes.
You know, like they-
They
that's
were. They had such a
strong.
connection. Even the
Yeah.
actors, they were. There was this, connection you could
That's
just
right.
feel. It
Ooh,
was
I saw
good.
some flashing too. Did you see that?
Oh, yes, I
Ooh.
No,
did.
is Electro
Whoa.
coming back too?
I know, maybe.
Maybe.
So we're gonna get another scene. So
Might be
we'll
telling us
see.
something.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still in shock. That was so devastating. I mean, with Gwen dying, there's so many things to talk about. Because first of all, that slow motion scene of her falling, and all hope is lost. Like, we all felt it. I was in denial. I think you guys realized,
too.
or I heard one of you say, like, oh, this is it. She's done or something. And we still had hope that Spider-Man will save her. He will. There's no way she could die. He lost too much. She lost her father. She can't die. And right when it was the last second, it's always like when you're watching a movie where it's always to the last second with a bomb countdown, some kind of countdown,
That's right, yeah.
where it's always like a sliver away from death that you survive, that you managed to save the day. And he did, because he stopped her right before the ground, but the action, the follow through of her falling, her head still hit the
See, I
ground
didn't-
just
I
enough.
didn't realize her head hit the ground.
me
I thought-
she was just above, and I said, "Oh, maybe she's going to be okay."
Yeah, I thought like maybe her back broke
okay.
at first, but I heard a thud, like a slap, and it was very brief. And the way that she bent really quick, I'm like, oh my God, she hit her head. I'm like, it looked like she hit her head. Then I'm like, maybe she broke her back. I don't know, something really bad happened, but no, she freaking died.
That was a shame.
Wow, so
Incredible. And he professed his love to her, and he was going to follow her. He
Yeah.
was going to go to England with
Definitely,
her.
yes.
yeah, so something good was going to happen. Like, he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. They were so in love, and he was willing to leave New York. Like, New York really needs
That's
him.
right.
We've always known Spider-Man to be in New York, and look at the dangers now. And he has to stay. He's the guardian of New York, and other places need help too. But there's superheroes in other places, right?
Yes.
But yeah, he was ready to move on with her, have a life
That's
together, and here he was trying to honor his promise to her father, which he felt guilty about because he died because of him. He didn't stay away because it was too hard, and he ended up staying with Gwen, which ultimately caused her death at the
Yeah.
end, because she's stubborn and she chose that. It wasn't his fault. He's going to blame himself. She chose to
Yes,
be
he will.
there.
She chose, she was
That's
en route
right.
to the airport. She said goodbye. He did his amazing goodbye. I love you. And
That was freaking
Yeah,
romantic,
yes,
adorable,
wasn't that
and
great?
perfect. I
Yeah.
freaking loved it. And
Oh
now,
my gosh.
like, her dying, now he has even more guilt. His
Yes.
uncle,
Yes.
Ben Parker, and now,
Oh.
his girlfriend and her father. Like, there's just so
That's
many
right,
people
fine,
now
yeah.
that he has guilt for. And at this point, he might never love again. He might just stay away from it completely now. He knows he can't do that. And that's why I
That's
love
really-
Spider-Man's story, because it's so real and gives you that aspect of anything is possible and everyone you love is in danger. And
That's
I
right, yeah.
always feel it with Spider-Man. I do with all the other heroes too, but I don't know if it's because I grew up with Spider-Man a lot, but there's just something about him that I just really can relate to him. And he's so selfless too, like with no money, and he never wanted it from Harry ever. Like, they lost
No,
contact
never.
for a while, but he never tried to mooch off him or beg for money. Never was about that. All these opportunities, like to even share his blood, to actually give him some money and help his aunt. Like, he wasn't even thinking like that. He doesn't want to do that. He just
no,
wants
and
to
he
help
knew
people.
it wasn't, he couldn't give his blood. It wasn't time. It wasn't
Dangerous,
ready.
yeah.
He
That's
didn't
right.
know what was going to happen to Harry. And look what happened to him when he
Oh,
went
yeah,
the
look
wrong
at it.
path.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad that Harry blames Peter for it.
That's right.
Look
Oh,
what
so
you made me
sad.
do. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
would you rather live like this now, or unfortunately, have this genetic disease that you can't help, and you're going to die early, or now you're going to be like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I like the
Terrible.
twist too, because Harry and Peter were still friends, which we loved in Tobey Maguire. We did mention in the Amazing Spider-Man, that it was really good, but we did mention that we didn't really see Peter with friends. It was mainly he made a friend with a bully, and but it wasn't focused on that. It was mainly the romance and him with this origin story, learning to be Spider-Man. So in this one, they already had a relationship, him and Harry, way back when, kind of like with Tobey Maguire, because they were friends in school, and then they just lost contact in this one. So that was kind of neat to see that he did have a long time friendship with Harry, and they were just
right,
reconnecting,
yeah.
and he went down a different path where Norman died of a disease with the claws like the Green Goblin, so they mixed that up, and now he was motivated to save his own life, and that's what twisted him. It wasn't his father's death, because Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker killed Norman, or Norman killed himself.
Oh, yeah.
He stabbed himself with his own glider trying to kill Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right.
And then Tobey Maguire's character blamed himself, you know, and then he brought him back to the mansion where Harry saw him putting the dead body down, so he wanted revenge for Spider-Man killing his father. He immediately blamed him. So this was different because he was driven
it was
by,
nice-
you're selfish,
nice
you lied to me, and you
That's
didn't
right,
give me
yeah.
your blood for selfish reasons. So I like how it was different, but kind of similar, and brought me back to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
No, sure.
And the freaking facial change, because
Ooh,
Harry didn't become the Green Goblin. His father did in the other one
that's
that we
right,
saw.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So that was a
That's
cool
right.
twist too. I used to watch an old Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s where Harry was messed up, and I think it was from the serum that he took, and he was the Green Goblin too. So there might be different comic books where Norman was the Green Goblin. Maybe it was just the Tobey Maguire one. You know, maybe it was always Harry, you know.
So many different twists.
So many different twists, and I'm so happy you guys understand that now, because when we
That's
first started
right.
this
My
channel
God.
and watching Marvel first,
Yeah.
it was very overwhelming to you guys. Like, you handled it very well, but when I'm like, oh, there's like different stories. So when you guys were surprised to hear there were different Spider-Mans,
That's
that there
right.
were different Batman movies, because you know there's like a
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 Batman, but you're like, oh, it probably continues the same story. And I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
it
it
doesn't,
resets,
no.
and you know the character can go through a
That's for
different
sure.
origin story, or a
Yeah.
very similar one because a different director does it or something. And you guys were kind of like, wait, what? Because you never watched anything before this. So
Yeah.
that's what's so fun, and you guys all you understand that now, which is neat. So a lot of things that we take for
Yeah.
granted, and a lot of people who don't watch TV
That's right.
don't see things like that. So
Yeah, we were mind
Oh my
blown.
gosh,
We were
yeah.
like, what?
That's
are you
true.
talking about?
Oh my
So-
gosh.
Well,
did you guys like this one more, or did you like the first The Amazing Spider-Man more?
I think I like this one better.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one
that.
better.
Yeah, I do.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
It was action packed. It was really
It was a true
great.
love story too.
It was. It had
It was.
everything.
I
Very
really
much
liked it.
so. Yes.
Honestly, the first one was really fun and had its funny moments, but this one was hilarious to me. Like,
Yes,
the
it was
balance
good, yes.
of the drama and the humor was killing me, and I love
that's
that
good,
mix. When
yes.
you can do that perfectly, I mean, there were so many laughable moments that I can't get over, and it was just killing me all the way through.
It's good.
I don't even know
was.
where to start. Like, even like just the first one pops in my head where he's all covered in, you know, just soot or whatever. He's all dirty. And he's like, oh, I cleaned the chimney. And she goes, we don't even have a chimney. What?
And he's in bed. And he's in bed covered up, and his face is
Yeah,
all
there-
filthy.
I mean, that was not like the best scene, but like that was a funny one. And they just had so many good parts that
Oh
just
my
killed me
gosh.
all the way through. It was just so perfect.
There was. I loved when he bumped into those guys trying to look for Gwen. And
That was good too with the
Osborn.
coffee.
Oh,
And tying his
yeah,
shoelaces.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh
the
my
chemistry
gosh.
again between Gwen and Peter was like great. Like I could
That's
really
good.
feel that
Yes.
with them,
That's
and
right.
Cliche
Spot
being in
on.
the closet, like,
Okay.
because that's the first thing you think of, right? Oh, you sneak in a closet. It's like, oh, it's like, okay, no, it's gonna happen there. But they really made a good team, and she was his equal. Like, she was super smart. She
Oh,
worked at
definitely.
Oscorp, and she could help. And she even
Yes.
gave him the idea with the magnetizing his web shooters. You know, like
Yes.
that was
Right,
big.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
she's so intelligent, and she helped him with the grid too,
That's
and how to
good.
get back to Electro.
That's-
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was great. And as soon as Electro's gone, okay, that threat's gone. Phew, nope, here comes Green Goblin. Oh, geez.
I know. I know.
gosh, yeah.
I mean, I was excited to have the Green Goblin in this because I really enjoyed it again in the previous one, but I was kind of like, oh no, like he almost felt like a sub-villain where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
don't forget
Yes,
about
right.
me, ha, ha, like trying to fit in
That's
too
right.
much, but it still worked. Like, I thought it was funny. You're
Yes.
right. I had a, oh my God, are you kidding me moment right
Yes.
when
I thought
came
he
in.
was going. I thought he was going to turn into Green Goblin because I saw his eyes start turning green.
Yeah,
over
and
there,
that was
so-
different too, where he had to crawl into the suit, and the suit
Yeah.
stabilized his condition.
Yes, it does,
So he was
yeah.
probably going to die. But then he started healing afterwards. So maybe the suit healed him, and then
I
it kept
think it
healing
heals
after
him,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It doesn't just keep healing like it's active all the
It said
time.
something like its healing started or something like that.
Yeah, it did. And but I was thinking because he wasn't wearing the suit at the end when he was in prison.
True.
So I'm like,
Yes.
maybe he only needs to heal once from the suit, and then he can just keep
Oh my
healing on his own.
gosh.
Another thing I want to mention is I thought it was cool that when Peter found out about his father and found that video, and he was talking about his DNA mixed in with the spider,
That's right.
that would make even more sense and make it more rare, unique, that it was not fated, but Peter to actually have the toxin go through him, and it worked perfectly with his DNA to get these powers. And that's why when all the spiders were killed, Peter, now being his bloodline, is the only one who can recreate his serum correctly, where it'll take.
Yeah, and that lab might be a thing if they have, a third Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
That might be a thing, that lab. And it's a good thing that he didn't give it to Harry, because it's not in his DNA.
It would have rejected probably, and maybe it would have been worse than the Green Goblin. Who knows?
That's right.
Wow, this was good. And then Jamie Foxx, I mean, I kind of thought he was going to be playing the villain, but when I saw him right away in this, I was like, oh, he's a little nerd, and he's an innocent nerd.
He
and
plays such a great nerd.
He really did. And I was like, okay, well, I can't see him getting evil. And he really idolized Spider-Man. So I'm like, what will happen to make him change to actually not like him anymore? And, I felt bad that it was immediate, when Spider-Man first of all didn't remember.
So betrayed.
Yeah,
he just felt so horrible. He was I'm just going to get my anger out on you.
Yeah, and then people started attacking him and all mayhem, and he just saw him as a negative thing, and people were rooting for Spider-Man and not him, and he didn't like that, so he just saw it as almost like a bully or something.
That glimmer of,
going against him.
What about me? Say happy birthday to me.
Yeah, very different role. He played it well, though. Very much so. Man, what a way to get superpowers, too.
Oh my word.
That's horrible.
And he was dedicated to
New York
his
City,
job.
I mean, there's plenty of Jews there.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, here he's doing this hard job. Everyone's mean. Everyone's leaving. So I'm like, oh my God, like, fired. Like, people are just leaving. And he's like, hey, they're making me do this on my birthday, and I'm by myself. It's really dangerous. Can you guys turn off the power or whatever? And they're like, I'm already leaving. I'm leaving the building. Screw you. Like, really? So he still does his job, even though everyone's screwing him over.
Yeah, and that huge cover-up, that was horrible.
Yeah, I know. I was so mad. I did feel bad for Harry, too. Cause
I did, too.
To have
and I felt bad
workings.
for Harry, because Harry had no idea.
He had no idea.
The whole, all the board members or the attorneys were just trying to get rid of him because he's a kid. And
that's why I love this, where we have these characters that aren't pure good and pure evil. Like, there's a lot of mix, which happens with a lot of people. That's mainly all of us. We have some good and bad. And with Harry, I really felt bad for him, and he really went the bad route. But, I can see why he did, because he really did care about Peter. But his obsession with everything going on, him trying to save his own life, probably even the reputation of his bloodline, like, that's an insult. And, even the guy, like, betraying him and talking, oh, well, you don't have that long to live anyways, just like the rest of your family. And and Norman died
no one's
terribly.
gonna miss you.
No one's gonna miss you. So he had all these digs that really hurt himself, his reputation, and so he just went crazy. And then his friend betraying him in his eyes, Peter, him being Spider-Man, not letting him use his blood to save him, which obviously we know that it wouldn't work, most likely. I felt bad the path he went down, and then the serum, I want to believe, made him even worse, and then he wanted revenge on Gwen too, well, to get to Peter. Man, that sucked.
I know. And Aunt May going to that was such a beautiful talk. You're my boy. You're my
I love that talk. That was so emotional.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness.
Great acting. I almost said it during, and I tried to stop myself sometimes because it breaks the mood, but that was a perfect scene. I mean, I was just looking at both of them like, I love these actors. Like, I really feel that moment so well.
Emotional.
Yeah, I think we're all like tearing up there. And, seeing that too with his parents, they weren't perfect, but they were good people. I mean, they were trying to, once they found out what they were doing and what it was for weapons, they denied it, didn't want to do it anymore, and then their lives were at risk. They had to leave. And I get Aunt May, because she doesn't understand. She doesn't know they left, and they didn't say all the secrets or anything on why. But even so, you left your child alone. We understand why, but parents leaving your child alone. I mean, you gave them to your family. Thank goodness you had family to give them to.
Yeah, people you trusted.
And she only knows part of the story, and she is his mom. She is his parent. And to have that, not selfishness, but to have that possession, like, you're my boy. And it's so sweet because it's so true, and
It's
she was
true.
protective and sad because.
And he was so sweet to her.
Yeah, I love it because he knows
Kissed
that.
her forehead. Oh my God.
And he
I
doesn't
lost it.
question that, but to see the different perspectives, he just wants to know what happened, and I can understand that. And she's
And he
being
can't
protective.
say what's on. He can't say his secret to her.
Yeah,
As I mean, she
and-
still doesn't know it.
yeah, and she just sees him or the parents abandoning him, and she's been there the whole time, and so she's sad seeing that he's obsessing over this because it's all negative to her. So that was good to
Yes,
see
that's
both
right.
perspectives, but they both truly love each other in the same way that
Sure.
there's no question there. So they had to have that discussion. to
They
understand.
Yeah, definitely.
And they
yeah.
had to
That
have
was a
the
good
laundry
one.
discussion too. That was a riot.
Yeah.
He didn't want to show her his Spidey
Oh,
suit,
that's right.
and
yeah.
she didn't want him seeing her nursing suit.
That was so
they-
funny. Yeah, that was so good. They
Doing
both
the
had
laundry.
secrets.
No, I'm doing the
So
laundry.
So at that point, we could tell that they're related,
Yes.
No,
Oh
but
my
their
gosh,
interactions
yeah.
are great. They're so good together, and it was just perfect.
job.
And I joked during the first movie talking about Peter's lock in his bedroom, and I'm like, oh, well, that's just to show us that he's an inventor. He's super smart. But I'm like, why would you really need that? People are going to think the wrong thing. Like, what are you doing? I need 5 more minutes. But I'm like, that's weird, But now it makes sense in this one because he's Spider-Man and he can't just be walked in on. So that was so
That's right.
funny, that whole mess up where he's trying to hide
Yeah,
from her.
you never know what
Yeah.
he's gonna look like
don't know.
when he comes
That's
back
right.
from a little mission.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
for sure.
I really
Wow,
like this. And then
it's
all
really
the, like,
good.
not the Easter eggs, I guess, but like kind of like Easter eggs. But we saw the Doc Ock,
Yes,
arms,
we did.
That's right. Yes.
and we saw the wings again, and that was
Wings.
with
That's
Tom
right.
Holland. I think that was one of the bad guys, right? Because he had the wings. So I don't know if that's the same one. And yeah, so that's kind of fun. And then the Green Goblin again. I like having the mix of the stuff that we're
That's
already
right, my
familiar
gosh,
with.
yeah.
And-
Oh yeah, and then they bring back that jerk guy at the end, the rhino guy.
The right-
oh, I know. That was so good.
Yeah.
I know that tattoo is just so terrible.
Oh,
So, as we all know, there's a new Spider-Man movie coming out in December. Excited to see that. There are rumors out there that I couldn't help but hear. We did see that Doc Ock is, from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man,
Yes, right, yes.
that he's going to be in this one. I heard rumors that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield might be in this new one with Tom Holland. We have a multiverse now. How perfect to meld Sony and Disney together. Like, this is going to be such a fun adventure, I think, if that's
Oh,
even
wow,
true.
yes.
If not, that's okay. We have the old Doc Ock. We have Jameson, the same Jameson. I love him as a character.
Yes.
He's like perfect.
Yes, and
We'll
Green
see.
Goblin.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did hear the laugh, and it sounded like William Dafoe, so that would be
Yes,
kind
it
of
did.
cool.
Yeah,
So, anything you guys want to add? There was just so much to talk about, and
no, it's just really a good movie.
yeah,
I'm
like it a
just
lot.
so
Yeah.
sad about Gwen.
I am
I
too.
am too.
Sad.
I
It
think
was so
The shock
perfect.
this year.
I hate that she died,
Right.
but I think that
Yeah.
was such a fitting ending. I think that was so perfect because Peter Parker has a tragic story, and it keeps showing you what if anything's possible, and you put your loved ones at risk being a hero
That's right. Yeah.
to his extent,
For sure.
But yeah, I hate that
Right.
she died. One other thing I wanted to mention was the special effects, again, were fantastic. This time they had a lot more slow motion scenes, like full on intense, a lot of detail. And I love Spider-Man just web slinging through the city. And then he was doing those iconic poses in the air. Like, not that I'm going to do them again because I'm doing them all wrong, but the one where his like legs are out, one's bends, and
That's
just the
right.
cool moves that we see in posters, and it's
That's
on the
right, yeah.
video game, and he kept doing those poses. So there was a lot of attention put into this film
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
That I was like, wow, just all these subtleties that were so strong.
It was
too.
great,
Yeah,
and
it's
his
just
just
good.
his joking around.
Oh
I
my
love
gosh,
that.
Yes,
Criminals.
like
It's just
that. Yeah.
great.
Very
I
good.
love Spidey.
All the way down.
Yeah.
And one more thing too is the fact that not only is he saving people from major crimes, major dangers, but he's also helping the little guy. Like, he's going to kids that are getting bullied, like that boy.
That's right.
That was awesome.
He
and it takes
is.
a
He's
lot
a
of
great
time.
role model. He takes a moment, even when he's got this flipping
sure he
rhino
does.
mechanic guy in front of him. He's just, he kneels down and talks to this kid.
He's a people person. He knows how
That's
to
good.
talk to
Yes.
people.
It does, yes.
He
it
really
definitely
does. And even though it's dangerous and quick and you have to be fast at it, he knows that he has to pace himself, and he reads people so much that he knows, okay, well, this is what I have to do. Not that it's perfect every time, but, he had to talk to the boy and not, like, quickly grab him because that could have triggered the rhino guy to shoot him.
Oh, yes.
So he's like, okay, you go, and I'll just stay here, and it's fine, we'll stay calm. And, so that was well handled, and handling the bullies, and, yeah.
And
so
he's
just a
great
mix.
with, emergency personnel, like grabbing the hose, helping.
Oh, putting the hat on, the
God,
fireman
that's
hat,
right.
and he's like, yeah, and he
Oh,
knows
God,
their
that's
names.
right.
He's calling them by their names,
Oh, that was good.
just like Max, but
He's
he's
just
a people
amazing.
person, and he's so good. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's what
That's
he goes
right.
by. So he is.
That's
He lives
it.
up to the name. Great movie, guys.
Yes,
Please let us know
very
what you
good.
thought of this. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon, as always.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
With great power comes great responsibility.
That's right.